Is it possible that profit meets purpose? Welcome to the Soulful and Social Summit, a transformative space where we uncover the keys to success on both the goal line and the soul line. I'm Katja Rusanen, your host, committed to helping spiritual entrepreneurs share their stories, shine their light, and succeed on purpose. And joining us today is Profitize Your Purpose coach, Christie Ruffino, who brings a strong experience and insights how you can profitize your purpose. So welcome, Christie. I'm super excited to have you join us.
Well, I'm really excited to be here, Katja. So thanks for inviting me.
I am so glad that you said yes. And before we dive deeper into your presentation, could you share with us how has social media played a role in shaping your business success?
Well, so social media, since now everybody can use it and it's a great way to connect with people basically everywhere, has been instrumental in me transitioning from a in-person local business to a national, or I should say international business. There are so many ways for us to connect and build relationships with people across the globe. For marketing purposes, of course, that's great, but I'm more about how to connect, how to support, how to collaborate with other people. And that has been my strategic edge in what I've been doing in my business, is creating the right partnerships with the right people at the right time to create the right outcome.
Beautiful. And I love as well the global aspect. Like now we are in 2 different continents and we are connected thanks to meeting on social media. So now we are getting ready to learn how we can profitize our purpose. But first, allow me to properly introduce you. So Christie Ruffino is a serial entrepreneur, podcast host, and best-selling author with 14 books. She has been featured on Inc.com, WGN Radio, and The Morning Plant on NBC TV. And she is Certified John Maxwell Coach and has studied under a long list of business icons, just as Bob Burg and Canfield. And she has over 3 decades of business experience, built 3 six-figure businesses, and has worked with over 3,000 women, helping them increase their business revenue through clarity, collaboration, and increased visibility. And all this experience has come together in a way that now serves her clients at the highest level. As a Profitize Your Purpose coach, Christie guides entrepreneurs through her process to harness the power of story, systems, and community to build a more dynamic brand, attract more clients, and make more money. So our audience is surely eager now to learn from your wisdom. So the stage is now yours for your Profitize Your Purpose presentation, Christie.
Oh, thanks, Katja. Wow, I always listen to my bio, and sometimes how you've got that outer body experience and you think, was that really
me? Yeah, like, wow. Yes, that is awesome. Like brilliant stuff you have done in the world. So can't wait to learn more from you.
Yeah, so yes, I've had a lot of successes, but I've made a lot of mistakes. And my goal is today to share with your audience how they can avoid some of the mistakes I had or that I made and come out on the other side. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and then we will kind of get rocking and rolling. Here we go. Oh, it's always the fun part, right? To get this all coordinated. So hello, everybody. I am Christie Ruffino, and today we are going to talk about 3 surefire strategies to harness your purpose to create more in your business and, heck, your life. Basically, how to net 6 figures in a year as an authority in your field, even if you're just starting out, or if you've been at it for a while and you are just fed up because so far nothing has worked. And I'm going to show you how to do it without complicated tech, strategies, or expensive ads. So the sad statistics are that basically many small business owners and new entrepreneurs fail. And if you can make it through 2 years, the chances of you making it through 10 is even more difficult. Yet you can see how so many people that transition from a career into their own business, they do it because they had a mission. However, 96% said that they never want to go back to a regular job. So what happens to all of those people that start businesses that fail, yet they don't want to go back to a job? And that's really, to me, what I want to do is make sure anybody that starts on the entrepreneurial journey doesn't fail and they are actually able to succeed, so they never have to go back to that job. And so here are some key common mistakes. First of all, they have no mission, right? They're not following their purpose. They're just building a business to make money. They're not necessarily building a business that follows their purpose-driven mission. They also have the wrong focus, right? Like they're trying to help everybody and they're not being laser focused. And they have the wrong offer. And I see it so many times where entrepreneurs are out there, coaches are out there, speakers are out there making offers, but they're not offers that are in alignment with their ideal client and the biggest impact they can make for that group of people. More mistakes are that they have the wrong plan. They've got no process to help people in a group setting, because that's the best way to leverage their time. They're not selling it first. They're creating the whole thing and then selling it. And by the time they've done that, they're going to constantly making changes. Or they never even get their business off the ground or get that program off the ground. So I'm going to show you how to sell it first. And they're charging too little. Also, the processes are not right. They don't have automations, they don't have partners, or they don't have a team. So today, these are the key points that we're going to be focused on. First, how you can zero in on your purpose. Really, what makes you naturally brilliant and captivating to attract more of your ideal clients? Uncover what it takes to build a purpose-driven business with multiple profit centers. Oop, back up the bus. And learn what it takes to have consistent and automated revenue so you can serve more people in less time. 55. That is my big number. I just turned 55 a few years ago, and it was a pretty devastating year for me. Now, I remember when my mom turned 55. Holy cow. I thought she was ancient, right? I don't even know how old I was then, but I remember making her birthday cake and I'm thinking, holy cow, this lady's old. Now I'm past 55 and I see how things are so different. Also, my dad died at 55. So I didn't realize how impactful that age was for me until recently when I've reflected. So in my life, I've had many devastating kind of seasons. I navigated a very abusive relationship. When I was married, I found myself at one point being held over the stairs with my husband having his hands around my neck, telling me he's going to kill me, and my feet were dangling above the stairs. That was horrendous. I also was able to get through that devastating divorce. He promised he was going to ruin me if I ever left him. And he spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to ensure I didn't get a penny from him. And because he had great lawyers and I had a public defender, because I had none of the money, he was able to control it all. He won. And I had to figure out how to raise my kids as a single mom, working hours and hours and hours, days, nights, and weekends, just to be able to keep our house. Finally, I got a job that turned into a reason to build a business. And I built that business that, like Katiana said in the introduction, turned out to a 6-figure business. However, at the same time, I was also juggling over 6 figures of debt as the years accumulated, right? And I'm a single mom, and I had all these lawyer bills and all these other bills that I had accumulated that I wasn't able to ever get out from underneath. So then, years later, as I navigated that whole journey, and I thought, hey, things are looking better. What happened? The pandemic happened. And not only did my business change, but I lost my mom. My mom was my best friend. She was there with me through everything. And I lost her in a way that was pretty sad for me and my family because she was isolated. She lived the last few months of her life alone in a hospital bed, staring at the ceiling. And that was really tough. But somehow I got through it. And I'm not advancing my slide. There are my kids, as I was a single parent, and this is my mom. Every time I look at this picture, it makes me happy, but it also makes me sad. And I got through that time. Then, as things were starting to get better, my fiance broke up with me. No, he didn't even have the nerve to break up with me. He just ghosted me a few weeks after we got engaged. And I had no idea what happened or why he did it, because he just completely ghosted me. And guess what? He did it on my 55th birthday. He just didn't show up. All of my friends were like, what? What happened? Where is he? We're all calling him. We had no idea. And then he disappeared for weeks. And then I found out later, he was just afraid of the whole thing and couldn't talk to me about it. But you know what? I got through it. And things started to get better, right? My life was going in a great direction. My business was going in a great direction. However, I thought that there was more, right? Like there's something more. I felt like even though I was busy and I was making money, I was running my business, I felt like I wasn't necessarily following my true calling. And that made my business really hard, right? When we're not following our calling, things are difficult. We're struggling. It's not like an effortless flow of business and money and client successes. And so here is this picture. This is a great picture because this is in the beginning of 2022. I ended up by going on this amazing business retreat. I thought, you know what? I'm going to figure this out. I went on this retreat and what I figured out wasn't what I thought I was going to figure out, because I was surrounded by 6 and 7 figure and beyond business owners. These are people that I felt like I was the small fish in the big ocean of all these sharks. And I'm like, what the heck am I doing here? But that's okay. I listened, I learned, I was open to expansion. And on this trip, I had an experience that I've never really had before, and it's really hard to explain. But I woke up one morning with the vivid dream from just that twilight time of me being dead and my family all mourning over my body. Now, this wasn't me as an old lady. This was me as my current state, where I felt I had so many more years to live. And when I was able to process that dream, I thought, you know what? This is telling me something. I've had all of these experiences in my life that forced me to change. Now, you know what? I'm not forced to change, but I am going to choose change, because I knew things should be better. I knew things should be easier. And I knew what I was doing up until that time was great, but I knew things could be even greater. So what did I do? I went back home, called a realtor, sold my house, sold almost all of my possessions, left all of my friends and family, and moved to Florida. And so here I am, and I am just super excited to be here. But what I don't want for you is I don't want you to feel like you're pushing your life up a hill, right? We don't want that. We want things to be easy. And so my goal to do today is to help you to make things easy. And I'm going to share 3 surefire strategies to help you profitize your purpose. So the first strategy is to really first zero in on your purpose. Determine what makes you naturally brilliant and captivating so you can attract more of your ideal clients, not chase them down, but attract them. And this is a great quote from Bob Proctor, because he says, if you don't decide what your purpose is in life, you discover it. So you can't just say, all right, I'm going to follow my purpose. Sometimes it takes years to discover your purpose, but you have to be open to recognizing it and following it, because your purpose is your reason for living. And that is so true. But the problem is there's always a problem, right? Because it's not that easy. You first have to know what your big mission is, right? You have to make sure that you're following your purpose so the universe can align with you. Once you've determined what your purpose is, then you have to figure out how to have the right offer at the right time in the right markets. It's like a hot dog stand, right? You don't want to put a hot dog stand in the middle of an area of town where there's all these fancy schmancy restaurants, right? Because people aren't going to go to the fancy or they're not going to go to the hot dog stand when there's a bunch of other options for people to buy. Now, of course, there are people that love hot dogs that may go to the hot dog stand anyways. But the best way for you to sell a lot of hot dogs, if you go to a corner where there are no restaurants and there are a bunch of hungry people. Just like toilet paper during the pandemic, right? You can buy toilet paper anywhere now. But when the pandemic happened, it was the right offer at the right time in the right market, and people were paying tons of money to get toilet paper. It's crazy. Third, you have to have what people will want to buy. Now, people buy certain things at certain times. Now, of course, we all buy things we want, but when we're going to make a big investment, we typically will buy the most readily if that purchase is going to help us make money. Now, yeah, some people buy to save money, and a lot of people buy for a better life and a better relationship. But we have to think about what is the motivating factor, what are the belief systems around that person's buying decision, and make sure that we meet them in their space. This is an example of my client, Dr. Mary Lou. She was on a big mission to help people recharge their digestive systems. And she'd been doing it for a while. She is very credentialed. She had a long and successful history in hospital space. And she has a lot of personal experience from research and development in helping solve gut issues. But her main clientele were teenagers, athletes that wanted to improve their performance by having a better digestive system. Now, there are so many other people she wanted to help, and she wanted to help them all. And what was happening was that she found that she didn't have a one-size-fits-all program. She didn't have a one-size-fits-all approach. She worked with everybody individually to help them with their specific needs, almost as a doctor would. However, she couldn't charge doctor prices. So she found that she was really, really busy helping a lot of people, and she was starting to feel burnt out and not necessarily making the biggest impact that she could. So what we did is we put together a formula for her to, basically a methodology for her to help a specific group of people get amazing results. We launched her program just getting started, and we did it without any complicated strategies. In that first little beta program, she sold over $3,000 in, getting started pricing. And that program is going to be redesigned into a luxury program that is going to be her high ticket program. So, surefire strategy number 2. How can you zero in on your business model? Basically, you have to learn what it takes to have a purpose-driven business with multiple profit centers so you can make more money in less time. Now, you have a ton of gurus out there helping people make money. And this is a quote that I heard years ago, and it really stuck with me, because how many ads do we see? How many, Instagram accounts? How many different people do we hear say, oh, they are making money while they sleep? Well, yes, that can happen, but it doesn't happen overnight. And so before you can make money while you sleep, you have to be able to make money while you're awake. And by doing that, you can create a process for reoccurring revenue, but that doesn't just happen without any specific strategy. So the problem with creating that process is that people go about it the wrong way. Now, this is the typical value ladder, which is an ascension model, where you put together your free gifts and then you sell people into a little low price course. And, from those people, you weed out the ones that you feel are a good fit and the ones that are not. And then you offer them into a more expensive program. But you know what? We know how it works. How many courses have we bought that we've never listened to? A ton, right? Even if they're free. I mean, we can get information everywhere online. And so people aren't buying courses as much as they used to. What they want is a more robust program that includes other pieces. And so that's how I help my clients build their business model, because it takes the same amount of effort, the same amount of time, the same amount of money, fairly, to get a client that will pay $95 for a course as it would be for you to find somebody that is a different need, but is willing to pay same need, right? You have the same focus that you're serving people with, but they have a bigger need, right? They're more invested in their success and they're willing to pay, say, $5,000 for a program. Either way, you're out trying to hustle, you're marketing, you're having sales conversations, you're doing all of the pieces to get that sale. And sometimes those low ticket programs are harder to sell because people don't see the value in them. And we as individuals, we want to spend our time and money on things that are going to get us results. So for me and the clients that I work with, we all have the same mindset that we want to create more robust, higher ticket programs where we can guarantee the success of our clients and only bring people into our program that are invested in spending the time and taking the effort to get the results that they want. And we're willing to go alongside them to make sure that happens. So this is how I work with my clients. We start with a high ticket program, of course, launch it in a beta form like we did with Dr. Mary Lou. But then once we have that high ticket program created, validated, we've run it a couple times and made sure we worked out the kinks and added a bunch of enhancements to it, then we're able to take that customer journey, design a starter program that's going to get them started. Usually it's the first one or two stages of the high ticket program, and then offer them to upsell into their high ticket. But at the same time, you have that core offer. And if somebody's not willing to invest the time and the money in high ticket, now you've got a low ticket offer for them. And you've got a reoccurring membership model. So you can design a piece of your high ticket program that is going to be strictly around helping those clients in a way that you can create that reoccurring revenue generating model. And so this is, and the fourth step of that is to create your prospect conversion machine, which is exactly the opposite. So once you've got your program all designed and you've got clients you're helping, then we can take those resources and build out our prospect conversion machine that is able to be refined and turned on. So you have ads that will automatically keep people getting in there. You've got the revenue to fulfill it, to invest in that, and you've got the process that's going to result in a lot of closed sales. So that's kind of how I feel is a better business model. And these are the key pieces to make sure you can do the same thing. First is mapping out your methodology. Create a step-by-step duplicatable process that is going to guarantee results for your clients, or at least get results. Guaranteeing results is another whole conversation, and there are a lot of different guarantees that we can put in place with our program. But you want to make sure that you have a methodology, a process to get your ideal client from point A to point Z with best case scenario. Number two is validating your program. This is the process of doing market research. So you can gain interest, refine your program, and then sell it before you actually create it. Now you're going to have your framework because, right, we've mapped it all out. We know what we're going to do, but with your beta clients, it's a great way to get started. You're generating revenue, you're refining your program. You have people that know you're interested in helping them get results because you want those case studies. And it's an easy way to get your foot off the door or your feet off the floor and get your program launched so you can gain momentum and keep things moving. Then number three is you've got to charge more for them. Like I said earlier, we want clients that are going to do the work. And we don't want to think about, all right, what do I feel my program's worth? No, we want to look at it from the perspective of our clients. What is it worth it to them to get the results that they desire and that they deserve? And then market research is a great way to figure that out. But we want to make sure we're pricing our program in a way that people are going to be committed to themselves and to doing the work that you've outlined for them. Number 4, will it pass the $10,000 test? Now, not everybody sees how you can create a high ticket program that you can charge $10,000. At least I don't see it at first. But there are so many ways that you can include pieces to your program that will really excite people to pay. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. I'm not going to get into all of them, but what you want to do is think of the most grandest result and experience that you can provide your client. The sky is the limit. Maybe it's going on some sort of a trip. I don't know what that means, but I don't know what that looks like for you, but depending on your offer and your promise, it's really key to make sure that you visualize the best result and create a high ticket program that can pass the $10,000 test. And that's what we're doing for my client, Tracy. She has tried so many things before she started working with me. She was super motivated, but everything she tried didn't necessarily work. And I have to say, she's kind of all over the place on all of the things that she was trying. But she didn't want to give up. And she really, really wanted to help people. So we put together her beta program that brought in over $7,000 just to get started. And I was just talking to her recently, in between our weekly coaching calls, and she has already got clients signed up for her next program that is high ticket pricing, and she's super excited and pumped up to be able to deliver the results for that group of people as well. And she did it all without complicated strategies. And here's a little a little testimonial from her, how she had a business idea and now it's taking off with clients paying her thousands of dollars to be a part of it. And she's super excited, and I'm super excited to help her take her business to the next level. So wouldn't it be great to have a business where you can kind of get started? You can take your idea and turn it into this cash generating machine. Awesome. It's a great feeling. But part of that, one of the reasons why people kind of get hung up on more work, more money, having a thriving business is they think, oh my gosh, if my business starts taking off, I don't have enough time, right? Like you just think how we kind of almost sometimes think of the weight on our shoulders is going to sit there if we grow our business to a certain point. And that's because we haven't learned how to leverage your time. And so when you get to the point where you are ready to jump into your 6-figure business model, it's so important to learn what it takes to have consistent and automated processes in place to serve more clients in less time. Even if you have a group program, you can't just do it shoestringing it. You have to have the processes in place to serve and support them and to make sure that you are not running in circles. So what does that look like? Well, the first problem is you may not be utilizing systems and automation. Now, of course, we know how AI is just revolutionizing the world. But in addition to that, we've got Zapier integrations that connect platforms. I know so many people get started and they've got their email marketing system and they've got their post scheduling system, and then they've got, video stuff. They've got things all over the place and nothing is talking to each other. And Zapier is a great tool that connects all of the platforms. I've been using it for a long time and it's super fun to be able to connect platforms and have them work seamlessly together. Scheduling, there's so many great tools out there to schedule our posts, and there are just so many great systems out there that will help make our job so much easier. I prefer to have one system, like a do it all system. And I just recently transitioned into a system that does everything, including, well, it does do social posting, but I haven't used it for that yet. But it does everything from scheduling to my membership, to email marketing, to voice texting, all kinds of things, connecting to Facebook. So there's so many things it does. And it really has been a game changer for me. I still use Zapier in a few things, but it all connects to this all-in-one platform that to me has been game changing. All right. Do you have a prospect conversion machine? And A lot of businesses start with this first. They go out and speak. They do events like this. They get into giveaways. They do all of these activities out there to share their message. And they've got a great lead magnet. They've got a great gift. And that lead magnet is supposed to be designed to help their ideal client get a quick win. Right? And so they've got all these people downloading their free gifts, but then they'll just sit there in their platform, in their list building tool, right? So if you do things the other way, where you start serving clients and getting the revenue flowing, then you build your prospect conversion machine. Then you can get a team of people helping you build it. And you can start utilizing ad spends to make sure that it's all about numbers and it's just all about bringing people in and converting them. But you want to have all of these pieces in place, which include your free gifts. I actually encourage my clients to have 2 free gifts, one that goes on their website and one that's exclusive, that only is given out when people hear you speak. You want to have an indoctrination event in place, like a webinar or a giveaway or a challenge, where you're still teaching and you're serving for free, but now people can interact with you through video, through like the personal face-to-face experience. You need to have a filtering process in place, a way for people to schedule a call with you, but doing it in a way that they're pre-qualifying themselves before they take up space on your calendar. And then you need to have a process in place for your sales conversations. And there's so many different sales strategies out there. I myself love the spin cycle, or the spin process of sales. It's been really helpful for me throughout the years, as I have tried many things and have recently landed on that as being a really great process for sales conversations. But either way, you don't want to get out there and share your message if you don't have a call to action that's going to lead people into an opportunity to work with you, right? You don't want to inspire them without actually serving them. And sometimes we feel, oh, we don't want to be salesy. However, if we inspire people to change and we don't give them an opportunity to help them change, we're not really fulfilling our mission in life, which is really to be serving and supporting other people. So number 3, are you utilizing partners to help you grow your business? Because you don't have to know it all. You just have to know who does. Now, one of the things that I work with my clients to make sure they have a high ticket offer is to bring in the right JV partners that can maybe deliver components of their program that they're not qualified or they're not an expert in. And I know I have brought in quite a few different experts in my high ticket program, because I help people build their program and build their offers, but I don't help people write email copy. I don't help people put together their signature talk. I don't help people put together quizzes. I mean, there's so many components of the process that I know enough about to be dangerous, but I'm not an expert. And so when I bring in experts that will deliver specific information that's going to help my clients along their journey, now that's increasing the value of my program. And I really encourage people to do the same thing. And the same thing goes with joint venture partners, affiliate partners, and referral programs. So this is not people that are embedded into your program, but these are people that are out helping to sell your program. Maybe you serve similar audiences. Maybe there are ways that they can promote your events, your indoctrination events. You promote theirs. You know, it's a way for you to create these partnerships so they're helping you in the sales process and they're getting rewarded, as well as a referral program. I mean, for the last 11 years, I've had a thriving publishing business helping women share their signature stories in books that become Amazon best-selling publications. And it's been great, but the majority of my clients have come from word of mouth marketing. Now, my first couple of books, I hustled, but after that, my clients realized that they got so much value, they just couldn't help talk about it. And they would tell their friends, and the majority of my clients have come through that. Now, I think the last time I looked, I've given away like over $6,000 in referral commissions, which I always love doing. But collectively over 11 years, that's pretty cool. But I love nothing more than to be able to send a client a referral check because they send somebody to me that ended up by being a client. And the great thing about having a client as a referral is they're already kind of pre-trained to give a referral themselves. And so having a referral process in your program is going to be a key piece to make sure it's all successful. All right, number 5, if you're not outsourcing, you're going to be the piece in your funnel that is getting things all jammed up. You're going to be the cog in the wheel that keeps your business from rolling forward. And sometimes people think that they can't afford to outsource, but honestly, you can't afford not to. And if you do the math and you realize what your time is worth, and if you kind of figure out the result you provide your clients, and if you've got this amazing high ticket program that's, people are paying $10,000 for, and if you do the math, how much your time is worth, say your time was worth $500 an hour. Well, heck, why wouldn't you pay an assistant $25 an hour to do the things that you shouldn't be doing? And get them to do the things that you're better at, because you shouldn't be the jack of all trades. You should be the master of one, where you're shining the brightest and making the biggest impact in the lives of your client. So with all of these different things I shared, you may be thinking, whoa, that's a lot of information. I can make this happen. Well, I know for me, I had this big dream to follow my purpose. I knew what I was doing was really impactful. I've been helping a lot of people over the years, but I just felt something was missing. And I went on a quest to figure it out. So basically, my quest is something that was accumulated over years, because I knew the level of thinking that got me to where I wasn't going to get me to where I wanted to go. And when I was sitting in that mastermind in Cabo with all of these, 7-figure earners, I thought, this is impressive. However, I know my knowledge is not going to get me to where they're at. If that was the case, I would have gotten there already. And so I needed to bring in somebody that would not only expand my mindset, but make sure that I had the tools, resources, and the wisdom to accomplish my goals. And so over the years, I've read over 100 books and spent over $128,000 on coaching and training and all kinds of things related to personal development. And I don't want you to do that. I did it the hard way. I want you to have the easy way. And so I'm hoping that these tips were helpful for you. But there's so much more, right? It's like when you go on vacation, you try to shove everything into the suitcase. Now, I don't know about you, but I've never shoved that much stuff in my suitcase, but I've shoved a ton of things in my life to try to help me accomplish my goals. And I know everything I shared here was just a little fraction of what I do with my clients. And so very quickly, I've got a program called Epic Mastery. It's my downsell, low ticket, getting your feet wet program that's 12 weeks to help you design and launch your 6-figure program as a beta. And then Epic Mastery is my luxury program. It's a 12-month business incubator that helps clients get to that, $20K a month revenue goal. However, everybody that's in this summit, I have a special gift for you, because you know what? You're not going to take my word for it that I know what I'm talking about, right? You may have learned a few things and thought, hey, that was pretty interesting, but I don't know who this Christie chick is. So I have a free gift for all of you. I love this package because it has gotten a lot of my now clients to the point where they got some quick wins. They really made some progress in their business, and they decided, yeah, I want more. Some of them never wanted more from me, but that's okay. I was still able to help them. So in this Profitize Your Purpose Power Pack, there are kind of a few components that will help you depending on where you're at. First of all, I have a micro course and action guide. And it is I think it's a short 5 mini module training and a guide that's going to help you become crystal clear about your dream business so you can bring it to fruition directly and powerfully. And then I have a roadmap. Now, I use a roadmap for my business, and I help my clients determine their roadmap, because we can put together our methodology, our step-by-step process, but it has to be a linear journey for our clients. And so having a roadmap has helped me stay in alignment with my clients' needs, and it's helped my clients do the same thing as they're designing their program. So in this Power Pack, I'm sharing with you my custom journey to help you get to a six-figure business. I basically go through every single step that I take my clients through in my program, and you could basically do it yourself or see how I've created the roadmap, and you can create a similar one for your clients, or I can help you create yours. I also have a checklist that's going to help you make sure that you are utilizing your time correctly and you have all of the right pieces in place to have the best strategies for your business. And then finally, because mindset always comes before skill set, I have included a Living My Purpose audio affirmation track. I hired somebody to take an affirmation that I wrote and record it. And it's a beautiful 10-minute affirmation that really is focused all on mindset around life and business. And what I've done is I've taken that MP3, I've put it into my phone, and I use that as the music that wakes me up every morning instead of that obnoxious alarm. Beep, beep. Nobody wants to be woken up with an obnoxious alarm. And so for a limited time, I'm giving that away as a bonus in the Power Pack. So that way you can do the same thing. You can set up the affirmations on your phone or wherever you want, and utilize that to keep your mind fed so you can achieve amazing things in your business. So I want to close this out, first of all, by thanking you. And I wanted to share my little granddaughter. This is Scarlett. This is quite a few years ago, but Scarlett is my why. I see how my life was formed by my mother and my grandmother. And my grandmother was a stay-at-home housewife, because that's what you did back then. But my mom was a struggling single mom. And I was a struggling single mom as well. And my daughter has been a struggling single mom too. And so my big why is to create a business that none of us are struggling anymore, and that my daughter is my business partner because she has been working for me for years. And I want her to have a highly successful business as well, not being a struggling single mom, but being an empowered single mom. So that my daughter Scarlett can grow up knowing that is that's the way women should be. We shouldn't struggle. We should be empowered. We should be able to see our dreams and create anything we want. And that is my wish for her. And that is my wish for you. So I want to thank you. And I want to, again, thank Katja for inviting me to the summit. It was a great experience, and I look forward to meeting all of you.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Christie. So much value, so many insights, inspiration for people for sure. And it is a wonderful gift as well you are giving. So go now and get that gift, because you definitely want to. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And as we start wrapping up here, I just want to ask if you have final words of wisdom that you want to share with people.
Yeah, so for 11 years, I've been helping women actualize their story. They came to me, and we're kind of on the same journey, right? Where we are working with people that have realized their mess became their mission. And we don't always know why we're going through our struggles, right? We sometimes, especially when we're in the middle of it, we don't know what's on the other side. Now, in hindsight, we kind of see, like when we look in the rearview mirror of life, we're like, oh, I get that why that happened. But when we're in the middle of it, it's sometimes really hard to kind of embrace the journey. Mm-hmm. But what I encourage your audience is to get out there and share their story with as many people as possible in whatever way you can, even if it's just having a conversation with somebody. Because the first time I shared my story, I was like, heck no, I'm an introvert. I don't want my life out there, right? But I realized how me sharing my story impacted other people. And I said yes to share my story because I saw it would help benefit my business. But about a year after getting my story in a book and having it published in the world, somebody reached out to me and thanked me. And it made me realize, yeah, you know what? I wish I could have read somebody's story when I was going through crap, right?
Yeah.
So get out there and share your story, work with Dr. Katja, and do whatever you can to utilize your story to impact other people. They need you. They're waiting for you. They're waiting to hear your story.
Yes.
And it's a process. Don't you find that it's a process too? When you're able to get your story out there, it helps you grow.
Totally. It took me time as well. So I totally relate what you said. But when we share our story, and like you beautifully shared as well, I felt so much more connected with you when I heard like what you have gone through. It was like, whoa, I can really see your strength. I can see the wisdom you have gained, the courage that you have. So that's the connection point. And it is also the freedom that you get when your story, when your past is not anymore the deep dark secret. That was my experience. But you gain that freedom, and you gain that freedom to succeed. And Christie, you are beautiful, brilliant example, shining your light and sharing your gifts and really being successful, a role model for so many. So thank you for all the work and your time today.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you for tuning in and joining this powerful, soulful, and social summit session. And it is now your time to shine, share, and succeed. Until next time, bye for now.